They are asking us for 5 more years. And it is important to recognize that our collective future depends on change at this time. Our birthrights have been betrayed. Our inheritance as Anguillians have been squandered. And we cannot continue to accept a cruel and unfair future of incomprehensible debt, expanded taxation, and economic disparity. We must restore and protect our children, those born and unborn. We must change the mentality that begs the question, what is in it for me? We must ensure that there's parity in the economy. Only a few are benefiting, and the rest of us have to suck salt. Mr. Banks himself said, there must be a rich class and a poor class. And this is the policy that they have embarked on. We need to remove the class. We need to remove that class structure and ensure that everyone in Anguilla can prosper. Every single one of us, supporter and non-supporter, irrespective of who is in government. Anguilla, we have had the same old players behind the scenes playing the same old games, yet every election requires a change until election day comes around. Then we vote for those same old players again. A change in candidates means nothing unless you have a change in policy. New candidates in the same old system will create the same old problems. My Bible teaches me, if you put new wine in old bottles, they will break. And if you put new candidates in the same old front, they can break Anguilla beyond the point of disrepair. How can you get change playing the same old games over and over again? 10 years, Anguilla. 10 years. And then during that time, we have seen everything skyrocketed. We have seen everything go sky high except salaries and benefits. We have seen the prices in the stores go up. More fares go up. Hangar bills go up. Licenses and taxes go up. Rent go up. Blocks go up. Sand, steel, and gravel go up, while our salaries remain the same. We have seen crime go up. Disconnections go up. The rate of poverty go up. And the unemployment rate go up. How do they really expect us to survive in Anguilla? Anguilla, I have been asked to cut it short tonight. But what I want to say to you is that while things are getting hard for a lot of us, the Chinese are prospering. They will soon put Anguilla Trade and Albert's Hardware and ABC out of business. They will soon put Ashley's, Proctor's, Lakes, and Bryant's here out of business. We cannot afford that. We cannot afford to elect men who only focus on how to win instead of why they should win. We cannot afford to elect people who say one thing and do the next. We cannot afford to elect people who come on the platform talking about jobs, world being the party to terminate many of our young people from the banks, hotels, and the civil service. We cannot afford, Anguilla, to elect people who lie to us, sell us out, make deals with every passing businessman, while the rest of us suffer. Anguilla, when will we wake up and recognize that we need people in office that stop telling us what we want to hear instead of what we need to hear? That kind of politics will get them where they want to go, but will not get us where we need to be. We will elect people, and it's important. I want to close by saying this. We need to elect people who will enact a fair minimum wage with cost of living increases. We need to elect people who will ensure that there's freedom of information and ensure that there's accountability, transparency, and good governance. We need to elect people into office who will diversify our education system and ensure that technical trades are taught. We need to elect people who will ensure that these gross conflicts of interest in our country will cease. Anguilla, so the ground. When will we elect people into office that will ensure that there's a comprehensive healthcare plan for each and every Anguillian? When will we elect people into office that you get the feeling that they are fighting for you every single day? am here to say to you tonight, that chance is soon approaching. And that chance can be grasped upon if you elect Sutcliffe Hodge in District 3. Sutcliffe Hodge is that chance for real change. He might be criticized for frivolous reasons, but the one thing that you cannot say about him is that he lacked the ability and the qualifications to do the job. He is uniquely qualified to do the job. And I know that when he sits around the table, he will negotiate with these investors and ensure that when things are necessary to be changed, they change on Anguilla's behalf. Mr. Rogers stated last night, Anguilla is a better place today than it was 5 years ago. I want to ask you, and only you as an individual know this, are you better off in Anguilla than you were 5 years ago? Each and every one of you have to ask that question for yourself. Good night. God bless you, and may God save this country.
New representation for this district and for Anguilla. A man who is capable, a man who is committed, a man who is dedicated, a man who knows how to negotiate the best for a country. That man is the leading candidate right now with 75% of the vote based on the last poll, none other than Sutcliffe Hodge. Put your hands together for the man of the night, Sutcliffe Hodge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to the people of Stony Ground and the surrounding community. Good evening to all of Anguilla listening via radio. Good evening to Anguillans listening via the World Wide Web. Good evening to those who will view this via the internet over the next few days. My fellow Anguillans, I am sure that most of you expect that tonight I would come back here really angry at all that transpired last night. I am going to disappoint you. I am going to disappoint you because Sutcliffe Hodge is going to rise above the fray. Rise above the fray. The issues of this country are bigger than Sutcliffe Hodge. When I look and listen to the cries of the people of this country, I become insignificant. Sutcliffe Hodge becomes insignificant. Tonight, we plan to have a family statement released. That family statement, we will have it organized to be released next week, Monday. Sutcliffe Hodge is part of a big, a large, loving family, and my family will make a statement with respect to what happened on this platform last night. I am going to rise above the fray. The people of Anguilla, are sick and tired. They are sick and tired of personality politics. The people of Anguilla are sick and tired of defamation of character. I am not going there, my fellow Anguillans. But a few things that I will just mention. Something was mentioned from these platforms. And by the way, I was attacked by an army last night. An army. But my shoulders are broad. My character is solid. The support of my family is immense. So I can take the blows. The Chief Minister mentioned last night, for example, that I've been going to the cemetery to ask forgiveness of my mother. I want the Chief Minister to know something. Sutcliffe Hodge pays every month to have the cemetery cleaned. That's a place where if he's fortunate, his body will be rested there just like mine. I pay to have the cemetery cleaned. The church of which I'm a member is not aware of me doing this. Unlike the elf, I fix the shoes in the middle of the night, and when you wake up in the morning, you have shoes. That's the way I operate. I don't have to stand up on a pedestal to let chief minister, body is going to be laid to rest if he's that fortunate. That's one issue.